Now we'd like
I think
you
you might, I might just add that we certainly have benefited from the lessons of earlier flights in this respect. I think that the problems, particularly on Apollo 12, showed us how to handle the dust problem, and I think that we have most of the answers now solved.
Now we'd like you to tell us about the rocks you're bringing back. How big are they? What is their texture, color, and did they crumble? And compare them with the rocks from Apollos 11 and 12.
Well, I tell you, we've been so busy, we really haven't looked at the rocks. Stu's going to see if he can find one for us now. But while he's digging to comment on that particular question, of course, we don't have the equipment here to analyze these rocks from the standpoint of mineral content and how they compare with the various mineral percentages with those that have been brought back. But with respect to size, we didn't have a dust problem until just now. With respect to size, I think the largest we brought back is about a foot in its diameter, and the large rocks we brought back were not crumbly. Some of the rock specimens, smaller hand samples, which we collected, were in fact crumbly, but the large rocks we brought back, I think we have 4 or 5 relatively large rocks, and these are not of the crumbling type. I think we just, because of the dust problem, which has now been created, I think we'll have to hold off on showing you a rock until we get back.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to get a rock yet.
Next question is for Al Shepard. Was the terrain in the landing area different from what you expected? And describe your reaction to landing on a slope.
No, with respect to the general terrain, it was exactly as we'd expected. As a matter of fact, as soon as the vehicle pitched over for the final stages of the landing approach, I was immediately able to recognize where we were and to control the spacecraft accordingly. We were essentially right on target, and we landed essentially right on target. I had originally planned to land a little bit south of the designated spot, perhaps a couple of 100 yards, because I thought it was smoother there. It turned out that there really was no smooth place within the general area of the landing site. As far as the slope is concerned, it was something like a 7-degree slope. And it didn't give us any problem at all. The LEM landed very softly, gently, no tendency for it to topple over, and it stayed there steady as a rock for the duration of the stay.
This next question is for each of you. As space pilots, what is your dominant professional impression of the flight?
Well, I guess any comment like that from the answer that I'd give would be that to me it's been very gratifying. I think it's been a challenge, and I think each one of us has certainly had the chance to use his abilities as a research pilot and scientist, and I think it's gone real well up to this point. And before we elaborate too much on a post-mission conference, well, I'd rather wait till after the entry.
I think Stu's put it very well. The small things we've had to encounter that were unexpected have been handled very well by the entire team. I think everyone in the team functioned very well, certainly from our point of view, and all the major objectives that we went after were accomplished, or at least well backed up, whether we accomplished them per se or not. In my opinion, the mission was, to this point, quite a success, and I expect the re-entry to be quite a success.
I would comments that we're basically technical people that were involved in a program of developing and promoting technology. Apollo 12 is only one step in the space technology. I feel that Apollo 12 Apollo 14, I should say, has been a resounding success, and I don't really think that we've been able to assess at this stage what the contributions will be. But I can intuitively tell from what we've done, what we've seen on the surface, that we're bringing back a wealth of information photographically and geologically. That we've left another station on the moon, sending back information for scientific purposes, and I think that, generally speaking, it was a smashing success.
Again, for each of you, what event in the flight touched you most emotionally?
Well, I think the big emotion for me is yet to come, and that's getting both feet on the carrier.
Okay, I'd say up to there've been a lot of rather tremendous sights on the mission so far, and there will be another one. But I guess the first look at the moon after you burn LOI in the darkness, and you come around, pitch to an attitude where you can see the moon, and it's there below you at about 60 miles, but looks like about 200 feet, and your first impression of the body, I think, is a rather tremendous thing.
I think Stu's choice is my number 2, and my number 1 impact was when we pitched over, and there was Cone Crater right out the window. It was very impressive.
You have not talked to your wives and families since you left Cape Kennedy. Is there anything you would like to say to them now? We will make sure they hear about it.
Well, thank you. I'm sure you all have done a wonderful job of keeping them posted, particularly with the communications link and everything. And I guess perhaps they're probably as well informed and played as we are ourselves. But in case they don't know, we're all very well, very happy, and say hello, and we'll look forward to seeing you in a few days. Yep.
And nothing to add to that at all.
No, we'll be in touch.
The next question is for Al. Would you give us your personal feelings about the differences between the rides on Freedom 7 a decade ago and Apollo 14?
One big step. It's very difficult to, of course, as the question implies, discuss the technical differences between the two flights. And from the standpoint of personal differences, I think that for those days, that the Mercury Redstone flight was just as much of an individual challenge as has been Apollo 14. I think, of course, the machinery are different, but the men with whom we work, the individuals that help us along, are pretty much the same, and therefore the emotions are pretty much the same. Both are a great thrill to me, there's no question about that.
The final question is also for Al. You became the first lunar golfer with your little 6-iron. How many golf balls did you hit? How far did they go? And did you make the green?
Well, you saw the whole action on television. I missed the first one. The second one went perhaps a couple hundred yards, and the third one perhaps about 400 yards, which is not bad for a 6-iron.
Let me add, there wasn't any green in sight.
There are no green rocks. There are no green rocks.
Thank you very much. We've certainly enjoyed every minute of your commentary, and this concludes the list of questions we have for you. Thank you again.
Thank you, and we'll look forward to seeing you shortly.
Yes, sir.